So, very common these days in the modern world is to make January 1st the official start of the year. And then also, that means that making January 1st a time where we should kind of all of a sudden move forward with an increased amount of activity and an increased amount of goals. We got to goal set, and we got to implement health challenges, and we got to do, and go. And energetically speaking, January is still the middle of winter. It's actually a time when the body is still looking for deep restorative sleep, for being more reflective and introspective, for doing things that are that are actually less active for the body, perhaps, but still nourishing to the body, still supportive and healing. Maybe more meditation, maybe sitting in a sauna as opposed to going out and going on a very long run or something along those lines. So the energy of winter is such that the body is asking for moments of stillness and repair and really, really deep restorative sleep. However, as we approach the spring is an excellent time to actually maybe start to do things more in line with activity and goal setting and cleaning and being more motivated to support our health. And so spring truly is nature's start of the year. It's when things start waking up. It's when all of a sudden we start to see the animals out more. The birds are singing more. Perhaps we see the geese have returned from their overing in some warmer weather over the winter. It's a time of the year when, again, we start to see the sun reaches a certain intensity where plants start to grow. And so the energy of spring really is the energy of the body wanting to be more active and more supportive in health, because our health and our ability to feel really great would have dictated our ability to survive and make babies basically over the course of the spring and summer and fall. And so really this is the time to put more energy and focus and attention on activities that are health promoting. And spring has some really key things to focus on that I have learned through my studies of things like traditional Chinese medicine and also herbalism, in conjunction with all of the circadian and quantum habits and quantum supports that I am such a big fan of. I'm going to speak about those in a separate video, but here I really want us to understand that if we're looking to start to support our health, spring is a beautiful time. With spring, we also get the idea of wanting to move more. Remember, it's okay to have a hunkering down sensation in the middle of winter because the body is not looking to be massively active. But in spring, we get the desire to move, and we get to the desire to go outside and move more in nature. That's by design, because as we start to move more, we actually start to generate more piezoelectricity. That piezoelectricity is an energy currency of the body. So we go from this state of kind of semi-hibernation and restoration and sleep to active movement in nature that allows the body to get more energy simply through this movement. The spring is also a time where, as we're moving, we're supporting different flow processes in the body. Meaning the spring is also, there's a couple of organ systems that are really, through traditional Chinese medicine, looked at that we would want to nourish and support in the spring. And that would be the liver, gallbladder, and I've also added the lymphatic system to this. All of those are dependent on flow. In the liver gallbladder, we're looking at the production and support of the flow of bile. And with the lymphatic system, we're looking at the flow of the lymphatic fluid. And yes, movement in and of itself helps our lymphatic system to flow. But there's also a connection with nature and what grows in nature, because you find a lot of greens, for example, in nature, things like dandelion that are actually very nourishing and supportive of the liver gallbladder. So really, it is a very great time to recognize that nature gives us certain nourishment and certain desires in order to support those flow processes and those organ systems in the body as well. And so those organ systems are help with elimination of toxins. Hence why we oftentimes hear about this or have this urge to spring clean, whether it's spring cleaning our home, right? We open the windows and we start to tidy things up, and we really want things, we want to purge things that no longer feel like they're serving us. Well, the body has that same desire. With this increased movement, we're reducing the stagnation and the heaviness that we may have naturally felt during the winter months, and now things are flowing again. With the flow of lymph means that our cells can start to purge toxins inside of them and eliminate them through the liver. Our liver, again, with the nourishment that we find in spring, is able to produce more bile. That bile can either go to the gallbladder, where it gets dumped into our gut to both help support the digestion and assimilation of lots of different nutrients that we're coming across in the spring, but it can also help to clear toxins in the gut as well and allow for appropriate digestion of food, absorption of the nutrients, and elimination of the waste. We'll also have that bile that's designed to also be upregulated with these spring greens and things like that. The bile is designed to be upregulated in the liver as well. And remember, what bile does in the liver is it helps to bind to toxins in their final stage and pulls those toxins into the colon, where we are designed to poop them out, right? So we've got this beautiful elimination system that can happen. And this flow process and this bile upregulation is really designed to happen in conjunction with spring. And so spring is a great time to support some key healing strategies. Some of them involve light, but some of them also involve more of the traditional Chinese medicine aspect of nourishing and supporting things like detoxification and drainage pathways in the spring. If we go into spring feeling balanced, we're going to notice this increased energy and motivation, increased mental clarity. We want to go outside. We want to move more. We want to earth and we want to ground. And we've got really good circulation and really great bowel movements. And there's fluidity in our joints. Our joints don't feel like they're tight and stagnant. They feel just very fluid and supported in our movements. But if you're experiencing any of these following symptoms, it may indicate that you could very much benefit from supporting the energetic cleansing and also the added energy that we get from our environment in the form of sunlight and earthing in nature with some key spring healing strategies. So if you're feeling like you may have a sluggish gallbladder or sluggish liver, and how would you know that? Well, oftentimes bowel movement, so constipation is a key signal there, as is an inability to digest fats well, or if you have been eating a lot of heavy fats in the winter, which would be a common thing, perhaps your body hasn't been able to keep up with that. And so your bowel movement color is likely to be maybe a lighter brown, if not maybe a tan color, and it's maybe more likely to float than sink, or you're constipated. Like I said, those are indications that maybe you could use some gallbladder and liver support. You may also feel just generally inflamed and puffy. If that's the case, then again, the lymphatic system might need some flow support as well. You also may not have appropriate circulation. You may feel like you have cold hands and cold feet. With the increase in infrared energy that comes from our environment in the spring, coming from sunlight, that in and of itself will help to drive the flow of circulation and the flow of the lymphatic fluid. And so if we feel like we have stagnant lymph, which again could make us feel puffy or just inflamed, and or if we have cold hands and feet, it could be an indication that we really need to focus on how to utilize these healing support strategies so that we can move forward into spring and summer with just a lot of energy and clarity and feel really, really good. And so the last thing to be aware of is that if our energies are imbalanced in the spring or going into the spring, we are way more likely to have things like allergies, just excessive mucus production, sinus congestion, those sorts of things as well, that can be very much be benefited from some key seasonal support strategies. And as the sun gets warmer and warmer in the spring, recognize this is a great time. Our body actually is drawn into the warmth. I don't know about you, but there's so many times in Michigan where it could feel on a sunny day, it could feel very cold in the shade. But as soon as I step into the warmth of sunlight, direct sunlight, it's just this feeling of, and it's my body being called to step into the light and apply that sunlight to my skin. And so spring is an amazing time to also understand my body's relationship with sunlight and how I can start to adapt adapt my skin to receive more and more intense wavelengths of light all throughout the summer, for very much for healing purposes, but also just increasing my body's access to what we would call free energy through the water network of the body, through things like melanin production in the skin. All of those are amazing to understand when it comes to recognizing the warmth and the heat and being drawn into the light of spring, and to utilize that sunlight in its great intensities all throughout the summer as well. So spring is an amazing time to spend a dedicated window of time on addressing these energies and these supports, so that you can move into spring just feeling like you are thriving and flowing and just really, really motivated and energized, moving all the way forward into the summer and the fall. So take care. I'll talk to you next time.